Hey everyone, before we jump in, drop a comment with where you're watching from, city, country, anywhere, and smash that like button if you've ever had to deal with neighbors who act like they own the street. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, especially to my second channel where I share even more insane real-life drama. Links down below. Alright, let's dive in. I'd been off-grid in the Rockies for 2 weeks straight, soaking up that sharp mountain air that hits your lungs like a factory reset, clean and pine-scented, making you feel alive in a way no city ever can. I was tracking down an embezzler who thought hiding out in a cabin meant no one could touch him. Wrapped that job up smoother than I expected. No chase, no mess, just cuffs and paperwork. I grabbed the first flight home, eager for a few quiet days in my Denver suburb before the grind picked up again. Lugging 2 suitcases up my driveway, still dressed in ridiculous tourist shorts, a faded polo, and this plastic floral lace some airport greeter had hung around my neck in Boulder. I was ready to finally exhale. A mix of fresh-cut grass and the smoky tang of weekend barbecues. But something felt wrong instantly. My RV, the Titan, my pride and joy, my rolling escape pod stacked with gear, maps, even backup drives, was sitting crooked, like someone had tried to back it out and failed. The side door was hanging slightly open, and a cold spike shot up my spine, the kind I usually only feel mid-case. I dropped my bags, pulse racing. That's when a voice cut through the air, sharp enough to slice. "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" There she was, Linda Hayes, mid-50s, prim as a garden club poster child, decked out head to toe in matching khaki like she was on safari. Fingers stabbing the air at me like I'd just vandalized her yard. Beside her stood Bob, her husband, meek and nervous, fiddling with his backpack strap, and their son Tim, maybe 19, shifting uneasily, staring at me in the RV, which already had their suitcases half-loaded inside. I raised my hands slow, voice steady. "Look, I'm not here to start anything. This is my house. That's my RV." There's clearly some mix-up, but Linda, she erupted like fireworks, face blazing red, spitting fury. "Your RV? How dare you? We rented this for our family trip through Wonder Wheels Rentals. Paid the deposit, got the confirmation, everything. And now, you're trying to bully us off our vacation in broad daylight?" Bob nodded weakly, holding up his phone, emails. "All right here, honey." Tim just looked like he wanted to disappear, and then it clicked. This wasn't confusion. This was entitlement, cranked to max. And in her eyes I saw it, that poisonous belief that a black man in goofy vacation clothes couldn't possibly own something like this. Not in a neighborhood where HOA meetings obsess over hedge height. She must have scoped my place while I was gone. Saw the Titan sitting there, assumed the owners were some rich white couple on a cruise. Easy target. Only twist. Her brother-in-law Victor, the very guy I'd just busted for siphoning millions, had tipped them off, telling them about evidence hidden in the Titan. So this wasn't just theft. It was sabotage for family. But in that moment, all I knew was rage. My safe space had been invaded. Then came the kicker. She whipped out her phone, dialing 911, her voice trembling fake tears. "Help. There's a tall black man trying to steal our rental RV. He's aggressive. My family's terrified." Bob puffed his chest now that backup was on the way, patting her shoulder like he was the hero. Looked sick, eyes darting like he wanted out. Within minutes, sirens screamed closer. Patrol cars screeched in, lights strobing, neighbors peeking through blinds like it was a soap opera. Out stepped Sergeant Harlan, barrel-chested, thick mustache trying too hard, and Officer Dale, slim and twitchy. Their eyes locked on me first, hands hovering by their holsters. Threat level. Me. Not the broken lock. Not the jimmied door. Not the scuff marks from their failed getaway attempt. Linda ran straight at them, sobbing with gratitude. "Officers, thank God. That man tried to steal our vacation from us." I handed over my ID. Slowly, careful. House number matched. Suitcase by my feet. Still Harlan barked, "Hands on your head. Turn around." Ah! My blood boiled. Linda spun her web tighter, claiming I was some squatter, waving fake emails. Bob chimed in, shaky butt. loyal. Meanwhile, Tim just stared at the ground, guilt written all over him. I kept my cool, pointing out the jiggle key stuck in the ignition. The grass rut where they'd tried rolling the RV out in neutral, my initials etched on the spare keys tossed. On the floor mat, but Harland wasn't hearing it. Ego in overdrive, disturbing the peace. Cuff him. We'll sort it at the station. Dale hesitated, Sarge. Maybe, but Harland snarled. The kid's face went pale. That's when I leaned in, voice low. Tim, you don't have to drown with them. This is grand theft. It'll ruin you forever. His lip trembled, then cracked. Mom, stop. I heard you planning this. The empty house, the RV, the perfect score. The truth landed like a bomb. Bob flinched. Linda snapped, Shut your mouth, you ungrateful brat. But Harland, blind with pride, still reached for cuffs. That's when I dropped the hammer. Straightened. Up, voice cold as ice. Sergeant, stop right now, or you'll regret it for the rest of your career. Linda cackled. Arrest him already. And then I flipped my wallet open, badge gleaming in the sun. Special Agent Marcus Reed, FBI. Silence, color drained from faces. Harland froze mid-step. Dale blinked like he'd just woken up. Bob slumped into defeat, and Linda, her jaw hit the floor, twisting from shock into seething hate. Because not only did I own this house, not only was I the Titan's real owner, I was the Fed who'd put her brother behind bars. Right then, backup rolled in my team, Agents Torres and Kim, pulling up in a black sedan, scene secured in seconds. The real story unraveled. Victor had fed them intel about hidden drives in the Titan, proof of his embezzlement. They staged the fake rental as cover, banking on bias to shield them if caught. Bob cracked first, mumbling, it was her idea. She dragged us into this. Linda clung longer, spewing venom until we mentioned Tim's future. That broke her. She confessed, whining it was all to protect Victor. To erase evidence. As cuffs snapped around her wrists, neighbors whispered behind curtains. Bob muttered apologies. Tim stood pale but free, spared as a witness. The Titan was impounded for forensics, leaving me standing in the driveway with my stupid floral necklace still hanging, bags at my feet. Justice felt good, but the what-ifs cut deeper. If I wasn't an agent, if I was just another black man coming home from vacation, did my word have meant anything against her tears? Would I be the one in cuffs? That's the sting that lingers. How entitlement and prejudice almost flipped the system against me on my own property. Harland got suspended. The Hayeses are facing federal charges. Tim gets a second chance.
But whose?
Really the villain here? A family poisoned by loyalty? A cop blinded by bias? Or me playing the long game to expose them? Drop your thoughts below. Who do you think was wrong? How would you have handled it? And hey, if this kind of drama happens in your neighborhood, share your story. Like, subscribe, and let's talk it out.